at Midtown, and he did this sculpture here, which we're going to unveil in a little while. Why don't you come on up and say hello? Say a few words.
I gotta follow that. So I'm gonna keep mine pretty short and sweet. Part of being an artist, especially being a sculptor, is you get a few opportunities along the way to create something much bigger than you, much bigger than all of us. So I'm fortunate enough for this to be my second Veterans Memorial, and it didn't get any easier, and it didn't get any less important, the weight that I was carrying when I was designing and creating this piece to complement Curtis's. It's an honor to be able to do what I do, and I couldn't do it without the sacrifice of the veterans. My grandfather was a veteran. I'm wearing his ring from World War II. To be able to stand here and talk to all of you and share my art with you is an honor that I wouldn't have without the sacrifice the veterans play. So this is not about me. This is not about creating a beautiful piece of art. This is about honoring all of you, and I hope the experience you have with it is as important and meaningful to you as it was for me to create it. So I hope you all enjoy it, and thank you all, Sandy Springs, everybody that was part of this team. The thank yous can go on forever, but it takes a village to create these things. It's not just me and Curtis making monuments. It took a whole lot of people to make these, and I thank each and every one of you.
I do want to say one more thing, and I talked about the process of discovery. So I arrived here on Friday, and Kevin is waxing his sculpture, and it's the first time I've seen the two pieces together. And this, just the beauty of the piece sitting there, the three generations, I quickly realized that what we have here is a combination of two different art forms, a figurative and a contemporary piece, that are working harmoniously together. It's the only one I know in the world, okay, what we've created, the only one, okay? And it's amazing because what I've created here is a message, and what he's created here is generational message, right? The messages of generational message. It's one we have to keep going and keep striving to be better humans and better people, and we pass it down. And so the relationship between the two is really important, and I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Next we have John Paulson, City Councilman, coming up here, and he's going to introduce our most generous benefactors who fit the bill for this. John.
Thank you, Timmy. So this park started a long time ago. One of the commitments the city made was to build the Veterans Park. And the Veterans Park consists of the flags, the memorials, the monuments, the pavers, the fountains, and that's an obligation that the city had to this community. Phase 2 was artwork. Artwork was always contemplated to be part of this park. Artwork in some fashion or form. And Timmy didn't talk about it too much, but he and I and this Veterans Committee and these folks from Art Sandy Springs, we spent a lot of time in conference rooms looking at sculpture after sculpture. And by the way, I'm an engineer. I'm kind of a straight line guy. And so it was a learning experience for me. And I'm just tickled that we got to where we are today. So with that in mind, we started talking about art and art in the park. And about 2 years ago, I got a call from a young lady who said, my boss is interested in talking about donating to this park. He's got a tie to this park, and he'd be interested in pursuing. I thought, okay, great. So I went and met with her. Then sometime later, I met with David. His name's David Bamick, and he's here today. And he was a contributor to this park financially, as well as just a great story as well. So David, if you would please step up, and then David's going to speak for a minute and then unveil this.
Just a couple of comments. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here today. My wife and I are both raised here in Sandy Springs, and we are proud to be residents. And in the Bible, John 15:13 says, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man may lay down his life for his friends." So it is biblical to show support and honor to those who have served our country as we are doing here today. And what a great way for this community to show appreciation to its veterans than to build this beautiful park. So why is the Veterans Park important? To me, it comes down to three things. It's a space for honor. My father was a World War II Army veteran, and by commemorating moments of service and courage, a community safeguards the values that truly enrich us, reminding us that character, not currency, is our greatest asset. And then it's also a setting for connection. We're all here today. Communities benefit from calm settings that balance life's fast pace, offering places where bonds can grow and people can grow meaningfully. In fact, right on the other side of those flags, 40 years ago, my wife and I met for the first time. And finally, it's an investment in reflection. Places like this encourage us to pause and to reflect on significant milestones. We appreciate our journey. We practice gratitude for where we are and renew our sense of purpose for where we're headed. And not only is it Veterans Day today, it also happens to be my birthday. So to the entire volunteer and staff team from the city, it has been a pleasure to be a small part of this journey with you. And throughout the community, we owe you a big thanks, job well done, and thank you very much.
There we go. 3 generations. Fantastic. Perfect. Thank you, David. By the way, leave the sheet. You can't take the sheet with you, okay? We need that for the next time. I'm just kidding. So, our next donor, our next contributor, I met, gotta be 8-10 years ago. I got a call one day that we're building the city hall. And on Fridays, council would meet and we'd take a tour and hear about the latest progress. I get a call and they said, listen, would you please give a tour to one of our citizens? I said, sure. So I met Sonny Park. And Sonny Park shows up and I'm thinking, who is this guy? Well, the more I got to talking to him and the more I made sure he didn't fall off a ladder because we were literally in the middle of construction. We took a tour. He was obviously, as always, very gracious. And I've known him for another couple of years afterwards. When we started putting this park together, I can't remember how this met. We met for breakfast at one point in time, and Sonny said, I'm interested in the art sculpture here. Tell me more about it. And so we began talking, and the more we talked, the more interested Sonny became. He's got a fascinating life story. He is a generous man. He's American 100% from start to finish. He was the donor that participated in this happening, because these sculptures are all privately funded. So with that, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Sonny Park. Sonny, please come up and say a few words.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. I want to invite my family here. They live in New York, but this is a big deal for entire family. So I invite them over. Where's Rob and Grayson? Come on over, stand behind me. Well, this is a wonderful occasion for myself and my family and my community. We have so many Korean Americans, they're immigrants, they're legal immigrants are here with us. This is a wonderful country, and we value what this country offers. And then it was in 1974. I moved to the United States the first time, and then I came here and I got a job the same day I arrived, and then I started working 14, 16 hours every day. And then later I become rich, and then some people ask me, why did you come to the United States among over 200 so many countries in the world? Well, this is a land of opportunity. You heard it before? Some young people don't believe that it's no longer a land of opportunity. I want to ask them to look at under the candle. They're missing a lot. This country is still the best country, and then in the world, and it's going to continue to be the best land in the world to live and enjoy the freedom for a long time, hundreds and thousands of years to come. Why? How did it happen for veterans? I can talk about 2 hours about how important veterans are, but we already covered that song.
2 hours?
Thank you. And then my family is honored to be a part of this dedication. And thank you for the City Council, Sandy Spring Foundation, especially my Korean War veterans, a hero. And they're the one that came. They are the means. I saw the dear fellow comrade die in front of my eyes. That's the veterans. Those souls. Can you imagine? Thanks so much for Mr. Pittman, the artist, architect, and then build this such an amazing sculpture. You come in the night and I feel they're reaching the message out to heaven. The eternal flame goes all way up in the sky, and then meeting those American soldiers die in front of my own eyes during the Korean War. Some soldiers I saw the dead body. The half of the rice paddy in the water, the other half is up in the air, like this. That person, that soldier, I saw so many of them. They're husband of somebody, or father of somebody, or son of somebody, and they are the veterans who kept not only Americans, but they came to Korea, saved 50 million plus people in South Korea. Now look at the South Korea, the best allied country in the world to America, and also so prosperous. They were second poorest country in the world when the American soldiers arrived to South Korea. Now they're ninth largest economy of the world. Thank you. They agree with me. That's what they're doing. It was about a year ago when Mayor Paul called me and said, he wants to see me at his office. Well, we worked together several years, so he was a Republican Party chairman, the Georgia Party chairman. So we were friends for a long time, and he wanted to see me in his office one day. That was about a year ago. John Paul was there escorting me to the mayor's office. That's about a year ago, and I said, "Oh boy, something going on here." But I'm glad you called me. This such an honor. So I want to make sure that everyone do know this. That how the freedom, people, when you get handout, this is the granted of a freedom, people don't know. They really don't realize how the freedom is being presented to each of us. I can talk about anything. When I was living under communism, I don't want to take it too much time, but I think it's important. I was living in communism when I was 11, 12, 13 years old. At that time, I saw what they're doing. You want to visit your parents that live in Cobb County, you need to go to city office and get a permission and apply for it. And they're going to issue either granted or not granted. It will take about a month. They're sick, so you want to visit your parents is out there at the Cobb County. You cannot go. You need to have a visa or some kind of a permission. Some of them don't believe that, man. But I was living. I'm not talking about something I heard from somebody. That's a freedom. We have a freedom of assembly, freedom to a speech, press, you name it. We can do anything you want. You talk about the president, the bad mouth about the president or somebody. Then what happened? It will be you're in jail. The basement of a city, Sandy Springs. There's a jail. The jail's out there. Anyway, the police will catch up. So freedom is so important. I'd rather die than not have a freedom, because I experienced it. I don't know how my English is not good enough to explain, or I don't have the talent to explain the value of let you realize the value of a freedom. Freedom is a more than life, a more important than life. That's what I see it. Now, come back to here. The city, Sandy Spring Foundation did a wonderful job. and to find the right the artist to build this thing. And then day and night, we're gonna send that message to the veterans, an eternal message to the veterans in heaven. Say we thank you, and then it will be a reminder. It will be a reminder. Stay here day and night as a reminder for ourselves, for the value of freedom. So I'm sorry I took a little long time, but this is a wonderful. My family is the honor to present the citizens of Sandy Spring this sculpture, and anybody pass by this Roswell Road, Mountain Vernon, and Johnson Creek. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right. Are we all ready? On the count of 3. Everybody grab a hold. That's some big scissors.
Real out for everybody on that scissors.
Yep. And watch your fingers. On 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Fantastic. Thank you, Sonny. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for attending this morning. Thank you for walking across the street. I encourage you, don't be in a hurry. Take a minute. Take a look at these sculptures. Take a look at this beautiful piece. There are also pavers around this oval in front of the different branches of the service from veterans and veterans' families who have recognized their family service, and they wanted to make sure they memorialized them and commemorated them. So please take a look around at all these pavers. And those of you that have veterans in your family, if you're interested, there are additional pavers available for sculpturing and engraving. Go to the city website, and you just follow the whole thing through. It's quite a moving tribute to the veterans and the families of veterans in our community. With that, thank you very much. You're dismissed.